Foundation, Jackson Janet's greetings and welcome to your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some Steelers talk. We got Lasker's on an airplane in Hawaii, so he's not here. But Gingy's here. I'm going to try to keep it upbeat, even though the Steelers got beat down, Gingy. Boy, oh boy, what was it, 31-17 loss to the Seahawks, or did we score a couple more and I just blurred out the end of the game?
No, 31-17. Gingy in the house. Yep.
Gingy. I don't know how to break this game down. I did like your little positivity piece for me, if you want to tell all the fans why we should stay positive.
Boswell good.
Boswell good, yes. Boswell good is exactly how to describe the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's the positive segment of the show for me. Boswell good. Next.
Splash? There was Splash, Gingy. I mean,
yeah, okay, yeah. If we're being serious, we can get into it, Donkey. 31-17. I don't think that was a great home opener. Looking at the stats overall, there are some, pretty even, except in yards, passing yards, rushing yards, defense leaking through, right? I'm happy that we kept a lid on Aaron Rodgers getting sacked. Only sacked 3 times. Hate to say that that's a success, but I feel like it was better than in week 1.
At least it was the other side of the line getting destroyed this week and not just Broderick Jones. I mean, Troy Fontanu got absolutely manhandled by that Hall kid, or Hill, I'm pretty sure it's Hall, all game long.
Yeah, and really, kind of held in it with time of possession, right? Only really 3 minutes difference there. But really, big thing that I saw watching the game, Steelers defense cannot get off the field on third down. How many third and double digits were there for them that game that they converted? More than 0 is too many.
Third and goal from the 19 and running from a touchdown. That's all you need to know, Gingy. That right there.
There were so many. I felt I felt it in my stomach, like, oh, that's a dagger. Like, had him bottled up, let him get away with it, right? And then overall, we're looking at the offense, still not really running the ball effectively, right?
Not running the ball at all.
Not
there's no push in that running game.
And Aaron Rodgers comes back down to earth and doesn't play a terrible game, but has some mistakes, throws a red zone pick. Probably not on him there, but threw a couple more towards guys that should have been picked. The one where he threw
the triple coverage that hit the dude in the face one.
Very, very, I feel, more average gameplay from Aaron Rodgers. And it really showed overall. Wasn't able to dominate, but they had showed Cooper Kupp 7 for 90. Smith and Jigba freaking 8 for 103.
They were open the whole game.
Here's the dagger on the defense, right? And then I want to hear your take. Kenneth Walker III averaged over 8 yards a carry. 13 carries for 105 yards. All right, Donkey.
We can't stop big running backs. We haven't stopped a big running back since 2017. It's the way it is, man. Chubb always ran over us too. Since I didn't get to do it in the Bug Cap, me and Bug's schedule didn't work out. We'll make sure we get one next week. Gingy, I'll just run through. I wrote down notes. I do it every game. I'm gonna run down my notes real quick, and this is what I saw through the game. Quarter 1. First question, what defense? Then we get Troy Fontanu getting destroyed, absolutely. Jalen Ramsey with an interception that he was beat on and should have been a 40-yard reception, but making the splash play when the quarterback makes a mistake. Let's go. End 1, 7-6 Seattle. Quarter 2 starts. Ramsey's struggles continue. A field goal missed by Seattle. Let's go. Back into it. We have Peyton Wilson up the middle for the sack. I called him out for the X Factor, baby. Need to see the middle linebackers. Oh, Rodgers throws a terrible guy that hits someone in the face, but not intercepted. So, let's go. Fourth down. Cam balls out, bats it in the air. Herbig with an interception, setting up the offense. Let's go. TD to Metcalf. That puts Aaron Rodgers up there with Brett Favre, I believe. We get Washington, the unstoppable man, on the 2-pointer. This is now 14-7 Pittsburgh. Let's go. End of the half. Same score. Let's get this done. Seattle's dominating in the stats, but the Steelers on the scoreboard. That's what matters. We get to the third quarter, a 4 tight end, 1 wide receiver set. This is innovative, playing football like it's 1924 and our running back got hurt. Like, come on, man. That's embarrassing. Put some real offense out there to score some points. Bad D ends with a touchdown again, Can't get it done. 14-14 tie. Warren gets a big play. Crazy things. We're going down. Calvin Austin runs a terrible route, cuts off Pat Freiermuth, gets the ball in both hands and drops it right into the cornerback's hands. Interception for Seattle. Kills the drive after Jaylen Warren has an explosive play that the Steelers haven't seen all year. And 14-14. Next quarter, last quarter, Walker runs it down. Field goal for Seattle to take the lead. Apparently the rookie Johnson doesn't know the kickoff rules, and neither do any of the Steelers, because heaven forbid Bubblegum Danny teaches them this. It reminds me of the Antonio Brown not catching the free kick punt some 10 years ago, because Bubblegum Danny just does not teach these guys to know the rules. Steelers don't know the rules. Touchdown Seattle. All of a sudden, we're down 10 points. But Boswell is good. Boswell, good. 24-17 Steelers. Queen misses a big sack that leads to a big conversion. What a big surprise. Jalen Ramsey's getting abused again by Jackson Smith and Jigba. My God, does he look old and slow. Patrick Peterson, anybody? Sawyer gets his first career sack. Let's go. Like to see the rookie get in the stat book. Made me happy, but didn't really make me feel much because the next play, 3rd and goal from the 19, Walker runs in a touchdown because yay, running defense. And then, there's a 4th down pass to Austin. Gives us a little hope, but then Aaron Rodgers throws an interception. What a fitting end for a team that looked like garbage to end with an interception. Know how it's not really how it ended, but that's where I stopped taking notes.
Yeah, that's something I didn't mention in my little recap as well. Tried to block that out of my mind. That poor special teams play. As I alluded to in the positive section for me this week. Boswell, good. Yes?
Yes. That's actually in my notes, but it says Boswell's. It actually does say just Boswell's good. So yeah.
That's all you need to say. Right? But the special teams letting me down, usually that's where, I can rely on with good explosive play, positive impact. Man, not only was that not positive impact, that is going to be the coaching tape for the rest of the league for the rest of time on that play. Okay, every freaking team in the league is going to watch that embarrassing display, and their coach is going to say, "You better not do this. This is embarrassing. You cannot do this." And that is what the Steelers modeled on Sunday during the new kickoff, and it's not what we like to see, Donkey.
No, and yeah, I know people are going to blame the player, and I do too. But that's on coaching, man, because no one on the Steelers tried to go back and get that ball, which means no one really knew what the rule was. That's on coaching to me. But more importantly, I said this to you at the first preseason game. What the hell is Johnson doing returning kickoffs? He's not an explosive guy. He's never returned kickoffs before, so he's going to become the Steelers' kickoff returner? Gingy, I knew from the preseason this wasn't going to work out well. I totally didn't think it'd be a disaster, but the hell are the Steelers doing with all these kickoff specialist type guys on this team? Roman Wilson, Scotty Miller, Calvin Austin. We have all these explosive return guys, and we don't use any of them. Instead, we use some rookie who made a detrimental mistake. I hated him being the kickoff returner from day one. Didn't think it'd be this bad, but man, oh man, Gingy, what the hell's going on here?
It'd be really interesting if we saw a change next week. I don't expect that we will, but
Johnson's not returning kickoffs next week. Tomlin has said that. For at least now, he has been relieved of duties.
Oh, I'm wrong. We have seen a change. I wonder who's going to be in that spot.
Now, my big question here, Gingy, is going into this game, we have 2 running backs on the practice squad we could elevate. They're not using Johnson as a running back. Is this perhaps a potential for Trey Sermon to get a helmet during game day if Johnson isn't returning kickoffs?
Oh, that would be another big interesting change, wouldn't it, Donkey? I don't know if that's going to happen, but I mean, if we could utilize him, you'd have to find a package to get him on the field, right? I don't know what that practice is looking like nowadays, but that's how you get on the offense on the field for the Steelers, I believe. You have to be specialized in one of them packages.
Oh, and
Smith is cooked up.
I left out one of my notes from the beginning of the game. Aaron Rodgers dimed down the sideline right through the hands of Pat Freiermuth. Lol. What's new? That was
a dime, no. A dime.
And this is the. I guess let's try to do a little sum up here. Steelers outplayed on the field, outcoached on the field, manhandled on the field. I think it's a fair way to say it. But won the variance game. They had more turnovers forced. They had more of the. Although none of our turnovers led to. No, we didn't win that because of the fumble and the non-fumble in the kickoff. But the Steelers playing the variance game again, man, it bothers me that this is another game, and this Seahawks team isn't a team that should be beating us in every facet, especially at a home opener. Man, this one hurts. This one hurts because all the things we were afraid could happen to this team happened at once. That's what hurts.
It does hurt. I feel at the end of the day, hopefully this can be a good learning experience, and it's an NFC loss, so hopefully not a big playoff impactor down the road.
Fair.
So if you are going to get some tape on some things that you need to improve, that's not the worst game to do it on.
Agreed. Maybe more concerning is we should talk about the trends through 2 games, which is the highest paid defense in the league looks like a bottom 5 unit, and I don't think that's an exaggeration to say, Gingy.
Nope, I don't think so either.
The highest paid defensive player, now second highest paid defensive player in the league, the dude hasn't had a sack in 6 weeks. Gingy, we're giving him quarterback money, and essentially this is a quarterback who hasn't thrown a touchdown in 6 weeks.
That's right.
Something's got to change here. And there's a real concerning fact here. Someone brought up the StatMuse advanced stats for get off time, right? 2 years ago, TJ Watt was getting off at like 0.72 seconds. These first 2 weeks, he's getting off at 0.87 seconds. That's like a 20% decline in get off speed. Is that a big part of the problem that's happening for TJ, or is this just more a schematic problem going on?
It seems to be a schematic problem, but he also has some of the same issues that I've seen with TJ Watt throughout his career. I've seen him do a little bit of over pursuit to start this year off. And I think that maybe some of the offenses are scheming around him, right? Getting chips, getting double teams. Should be opening up other guys like Alex Highsmith on the other side. I'm hoping that's what it is, Donkey, because we paid for the Cadillac.
Let's get into Highsmith. Injuries is a big part of this game we didn't talk about. Isaiah Loudermilk lost probably for the season. Highsmith is going to be out for a little while, getting injured in that game. Max Sharping, one of our backup interior linemen, tore his ACL. He's done for the year. That was done during practice, though. Injuries are really starting to stack up out there. Joey Porter Jr. again is going to miss this week. This is a defense, though, that should be able to overcome injuries. But, Gingy, those injuries, especially to guys like Highsmith, which is now going to force Herbig into more play time, and we saw his numbers went down when he got more snaps, just not quite the big enough body type. Sawyer getting in there. We're signing this Bentley dude from the Patriots to be a middle linebacker. Queen suffered a rib injury during the game. Not only are we struggling, but we're losing players, Gingy. The double whammy, it's not what you want to see.
No, tough place to be. Hopefully get an opportunity to bounce back this week in Foxborough.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see. Gingy, I'm going to give a quick wrap up here of what I saw in this game, and tell me if you feel it's any way different. We saw an average Aaron Rodgers, which will not be good enough for the Steelers. We saw a running game that can't produce anything because the offensive line cannot get push or protect the quarterback. We saw one flash of brilliance during the game, and that, of course, was the Jaylen Warren play where he broke 4 or 5 tackles, really showed that shiftiness, showing that honestly, he's a guy who, I don't mean this in a mean way, but he should only get 40% of the snaps because you want him to be explosive every time he's on the field. I think you lose some of that when he gets more carries. I'd love to see him in that third down back role and see one of the more physical guys, whether it's Johnson or Trey Sermon, start to get the bulk of the crap carries against these teams to wear them down a little bit because we're only going to get 2 yards of carry anyway. Don't waste Jaylen Warren between the tackles. That explosiveness was amazing. And the Steelers, once again, these high-paid players, Pat Freiermuth, DK Metcalf, putting the ball on the ground, man. Tell me this is any different from Pat Freiermuth and Deontay Johnson doing the same thing. That's my view on offense from this game, Gingy. Think it's a little off there, a little too crazy, or about what it should be.
Pretty much spot on, Donkey. I don't disagree with you this week. We gave credit where credit is due. Average Aaron Rodgers is still average Aaron Rodgers, but it isn't going to be enough on this offense. Or maybe it would be if we could run the dang
we had a defense.
Football. Maybe I know he wants to run play action. I see it from time to time.
You got to run the ball to be able to run play
but
action.
It is so disputable, right? Because the teams, they're like, okay, they eat that up. We still have some of the same problems on offense about deep threats and really giving Aaron Rodgers enough time to be able to activate a deep threat seems to be an issue.
I wish we had a number 2 wide receiver somewhere in this roster. Let's move to the defense side of the ball here. What I saw was teams know where TJ Watt's going to be. Teams just game plan around TJ Watt because it's so easy because the Steelers are so vanilla. And as Julian Edelman said, the Steelers are the easiest defense to play against because they're running the same defense they've ran since 2015. There's so much tape on how to beat this team. They don't change anything. The standard is the standard. If we play our plays, we're going to beat them type of garbage, but it doesn't work anymore. And what's more concerning is the other high-paid player on this defense, Cam Hayward, he's the one they're running right at and absolutely dominating. If you looked at the Seahawks in week 1, you would have said that team can't run the ball. If you looked at the Jets in week 2, you'd say that team can't run the ball. But you want to know what the common denominator was that made the teams able to run the ball, those two teams? The damn Pittsburgh Steelers, man. These overpaid middle linebackers. Peyton Wilson is a good nickel backer, but the dude's too small to play on regular downs. Patrick Queen over-pursues everything and leaves huge cutback lanes. Our outside linebackers are trash at stopping the run. Our defensive linemen are too small. Keanu Benton's getting blown off the ball because he's not big enough to handle a double team, but that's the position we put him in because we don't have anyone else there because heaven forbid you run a 3-4 and like every other team in the league who runs a 3-4, have a 360-pound fatty for when you need to stop the run. No, not the Pittsburgh Steelers way. On the secondary, man, tell me these guys don't look old and washed, man. Jalen Ramsey chasing people down from behind the whole game. If it wasn't for a bad miss throw from Sam Darnold, which should have been a 40-yard pass, he looks like absolute garbage the whole day. Nothing seen from Darius Slay. Thornhill did nothing. Chuck Clark did nothing. That's all I can say about the secondary is they literally did nothing. They suited really well at the front 7. And all I had to say, Gingy, Pittsburgh Steelers defense on this given Sunday did nothing. That's my take on them. I feel I might be a little too harsh on this one.
I don't know. They gave up this 30 back-to-back 30-plus point give-ups, right? Mm-hmm. Against teams that might have questionable performances against other football teams.
Mm-hmm.
Donkey is pretty harsh. I think there's chance for recovery, but based on the sample size thus far, the assessment's pretty spot on.
There is, but there needs to be either a change in personnel or a change in schematics because the personnel we have running the schematics we run will not work. We saw that through all of December of last year. We saw it through the start of this year. Something needs to change there. Let's get to special teams now. Waitman, Boswell, Kunitz, good. Return game, good. Terrible. All I got.
Boswell, good. Yep.
Yeah. Give Waitman a little credit, dude. He's playing good, too. And he had a hell of a job on one of those holds. He pulled that ball right up.
Meh.
Gingy ain't in love with the punter yet.
Nah, I'm not inspired. Until I see a Steelers that don't require a punter like 8 times a game. I'm just sick of the punter, donkey. All right, it's great that we have a decent one, but you know what? If we didn't, we have to.
Gingy,
we have to because of the situation
since
that
we've
we're in.
lived outside of maybe 2015, since we've been alive, when the hell did the Steelers not need a punter?
Man, since
Josh
basically
Miller
since
was
Jerome
like our
Bettis has been there.
MVP one year.
Basically, since we've lost Jerome Bettis, we pretty much needed a punter.
Dude, even with Bettis, we needed a punter. Because our whole game plan with Bettis was wear him out over 4 quarters, win the frickin' field position game with the punter, and then beat them 14-13. Oh, man. Those are good times, though. That was fun football to watch, I'm not going to lie. It kind of was. Because you had to be locked in, because one big play would ruin the game, you know? So you had to be locked in. Talk about edge of your seat football, Gingy.
Right, I get it, donkey.
Any closing thoughts before we get on to some NFL news? The few things I want to get your view on before we get to New England. Any closing thoughts on the Seattle game?
No, I've had enough of that. That's for sure.
Fair enough. Gingy, some big injuries going around the NFL. I mean, we've already seen Brock Purdy miss football games. Commanders quarterback's about to miss a football game. Of course, we have the huge injury, the turf toe one to Joe Burrow. That's going to keep him out a couple months. Good news for the Steelers, even though the Bengals are technically in front of us right now. A lot of early quarterback injuries, Gingy. Is it time to put flags on the quarterback so they can't get hurt?
Aye. Let's hope it's not. Let's think about some of those. What was the injury caused by with Burrow? I haven't kept that close track of
when he got sacked, his toe kind of expanded farther than they should. The guy was down around his ankles, biting him like a little chihuahua.
Listen, I don't think there's not much we're going to do about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that guy sacked Joe Burrow at that point is going to be super pleased with your comment, but I don't know if we can do anything about that, donkey. I don't think it's time for the flags, but it's time for some formidable backups.
Justin Fields also having a terrible game and getting himself put in concussion protocol. I left him off the quarterback's injury list. Sorry about that. Ooh. Russ Wilson going from hero to zero in that New York game that apparently New York and Dallas both just wanted to win. And apparently Dallas settled for like a 63-yard field goal because apparently their kicker's freaking ice, dude. This Brett Aubrey kid, former professional soccer player, seems to be he's pretty good, Gingy. I watched his kick. He's pretty good.
Oh, I'm sure he's a great kicker, but I think it was really unfortunate, the Russell Wilson meltdown, right? Just when you start tuning in to see what everybody been talking about for all game.
I'll tell everybody the story, Gingy. So Zoidy texts me, dude, you gotta see Russ Wilson lighting it up today. And I guess he had like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I turn it on in overtime, watch this dude throw a backwards pass to nobody because he's trying to get rid of the ball, but throws it backwards, fumble, kills the drive. Next drive throws the interception that Dallas ends up going on to win from. Poor Russ. I should have left it off for him.
Jinxed him, donkey.
I roughed up Russ. I'm sorry. Thursday night football. Miami 0-3. Woo.
Yikes! Time to panic.
There's gonna be some moves done there. Tyreek Hill about to become a Chief or a Steeler is what everybody's saying, Gingy.
I mean, if that essentially makes him 1A and 1B with Metcalf, does that matter?
I would like to have 2 wide receivers just so we don't have to run fucking... Dude, I was joking when I said we were going to run 5 tight end sets. If we had a 5th tight end active, I think we would have run a 5 tight end set. Like, Jesus, man. Tell me at least Tell me a less innovative team than the Pittsburgh Steelers, Gingy.
I don't know at this point. That's actually very unfortunate, but a good point.
My goodness gracious. It's like, it is what it is. Any football news from you that intrigues you and you want to get a take out there?
Let me do a rundown of those week two scores, Donkey. Let me see if anything interests me. I think that are the Colts the real deal, Donkey? Haven't punted yet this season. 2-0. Danny Dimes has been redeemed.
Remember, Danny Dimes had that really good year with Saquon in New York. His touchdown numbers never looked good. His passing numbers never looked good. He's a sneaky runner, underrated in terms of running quarterbacks. If they can continue to run the football, they could be for real. Now, also, Danny Dimes could go and throw 4 interceptions in a game, too. I mean, he is Danny Dimes.
The Lions breaking 50.
Holy moly. You remember when I said my dark horse team was Chicago? Caleb Williams is letting me down in a crazy fashion. Mm-hmm. And you know what? There's a hell of a lot of playmakers on that Detroit offense.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I'd say Amon had three tuds.
Yeah, dude, you have Amon St. Brown, you have Williams there, you have Gibbs in the backfield mixed with which big back do they have? The one that used to play in Chicago. But yeah, just deadly people all around there. Tight end there, it's Laporta who's in Detroit, I believe.
Yeah.
If it's not, the tight end there, man, that team is I will tell you right now, that division is stacked with just good offenses.
Yeah, it is, Donkey. Super Bowl rematch, Eagles squeaking one out, and the Chiefs going 0-2. Does that matter?
It does, and the reason it matters is the Chargers, right? This puts the Chargers with a game in tow in the driver's seat, and the Chiefs have never really had to travel in the playoffs. That's why it matters if the Chargers take control. And don't forget, they already beat the Chiefs, too. They're the ones who beat them week 1.
Oh, yeah. Good point, Donkey. That's all I got. Donkey.
All right, then let's transition to Pittsburgh going to New England. We are 16-19 all time against the Patriots. 12-12 when we play at home, but 4-7 on the road. The biggest win, of course, New England by 34 points in 1986, 34-0. Steelers won a game by 33 in 1972, or excuse me, by 30 in 1972. Oh, stats are hard today. That game was 33-3. The longest win streak is both teams have had a 5-game win streak. New England from 2013 to 2017. You know, Tom Brady kind of owned us. The Steelers from 89 to 95, which is ironic because maybe that's the last year of the Steelers being bad. The current streak, New England's beat us 3 straight times, Gingy, including in 2023, December 7th, 21-18 at Pittsburgh. If I remember, that was us losing to a crappy team with a backup quarterback? Am I remembering that right?
No comment. I don't remember that, Donkey. I don't recall this time about that.
You go into here, this is a New England team that has a semi-scary roster, Gingy. There's definitely some talent out there. I mean, you got Butte on the outside. You got Ramondre Stevenson running the ball up the middle. You got a rookie. Not a rookie. He's a second-year quarterback now, right? I should be fair to him.
Second year?
Yeah, he's in his second year. He's taken over. He's played well. This team's playing pretty well, all things considered, there in New England. But this is the type of team, if the Steelers want to be something, they absolutely have to take over, right? They have to dominate this team. They have to beat this team. They cannot let Ramondre Stevenson run the ball down their throat. They can't let Drake May play a clean football game. They can't let Butte, Stephon Diggs, Hunter Henry get going out there, right? They got to slow down the really Dude, have you seen the sack numbers on New England this year? I think they have like 7 or 8 sacks through 2 weeks. They have to slow down that pass rush. But Gingy, do you want to start talking offense or defense to get a little view of it? Actually, to get a little view on the overtake before we cash or trash some predictions for the game.
Give me a defensive overtake.
All right, you look at New England on defense. You're talking Harold Landry already has 3.5 sacks. Milton Williams has 2 sacks. Chasen has a sack and a half. Old boy who maybe we should have kept, man. Bobby Spillane has a sack in there playing in the middle of that New England defense. The secondary is maybe the spot where they're a little weaker, but they have some really good guys there too when you look at early round picks type of guys. Christian Gonzalez, I don't know if he's playing or not. I know he was ruled as questionable for the game. Woodson back there, Duggar back there, Carlton Davis is the guy who's put up some decent things. So there's a little bit of talent there, but maybe that's where we can exploit them more. The backers, we already talked about Harold Landry getting in there for sacks like crazy. We talked about Bobby Spillane, and we all in Pittsburgh know what you get from Bobby Spillane. Kalavion Chasen talked about him having sacks already this one. Anthony Jennings, the guy who rotates in. In the front, you got some guys who are good at stopping the run. Milton Williams out there. I don't know if Keon White's going to play. He's another questionable one. But older names like Christian Barmore. Really, it's kind of your prototypical Bill Belichick New England defense is the way I viewed it, Gingy. When you look at it, you're like, man, none of those names step off. But then you're just like, what the hell happened? How did these guys literally just named Guy, random people you never heard of. How did they come out and produce such a stellar game, right? That's what this unit really feels like to me, is a throwback to the Bill Belichick New England defenses. At least this point of the season.
Look at who they're coached by.
It makes sense, right? That they go back to the Belichick style.
Yeah, because that was the golden age of the Belichick defense there.
Yeah, that's fair.
Great.
Gingy, is really this game is going to come down to the Steelers finally trying to establish a run and stop the pass rush. And New England's been pretty solid at doing both of those things through their first 2 weeks. I mean, only gave up 20 points to Vegas, and I guess they gave up 27 to Miami, but can the Steelers stop that front seven, I guess, is what the point of the day will be. Any view on their defense there from you, Gingy?
Like you said, bunch of guys that play together as a unit, definitely going to grit it out. There's going to be no easy yards gained on the run game. We're going to have to scheme appropriately. We're going to have to play to our strengths at this point on the line when it comes to the run game. I really liked kind of what you said earlier about saving Warren for the runs outside the tackles, saving him up for that being so that he can be explosive. I think the Steelers are still trying to find that magical that balance between the guys that they've got running the football, and hopefully that comes a little bit more into play this week. I'd like to see another explosive run from Jaylen Warren. That was pretty exciting last week.
The little screen pass made it awesome, made the game look good. We get to New England on offense. Maybe Josh Dobbs is giving them all the Steelers secrets. I don't know. He is the backup there now. Drake May, young dude, lots of talent, little bit sneaky, can move outside the pocket, kind of Patty Mahomes type of mobility. You don't realize it, and then he got a 20-yard run. Not a guy who's going to run much, but a lot of arm talent there. But a young guy who's prone to a lot of mistakes. You get to the running backs. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, dude, that dude is a baller. He's a good runner. They also have Travion Henderson, rookie from Ohio State. Dude has a lot of explosive talent if you watch college football. Couple, probably going to get more into the offense the later the season goes. Wide receivers wise, of course, it's Stephon Diggs and Kayshon Boutte. Diggs no longer a burner, but pretty solid hands guy, good route runner. Boutte, a guy who's going to take the absolute top off of a defense. And you mix in Demario Douglas, Mac Hollins, and Kyle Williams with some mediocre explosiveness there from the number 3 spot. You get to the tight ends. Austin Hooper's a dude who's been catching footballs for a long time, as is Hunter Henry. Both at one point were top 15 receiving tight ends. Henry probably still fits that build. Hooper now more of the backup build, but really two solid options there from New England. Of course, their offensive line, you have Bradbury playing in the center. I believe Morgan Moses, his old self, is starting out there on the outside. He's 34, 35 at this point. I think Onwenu is the other starter out there at tackle. Don't know them well enough there. But the offensive line there, they're guys who are NFL starters, not a line that's going to dominate you, not a line that's bad, a line that's going to give a decent push in the run game. Well, let's be honest, man. This comes down to the highest paid defense in the league needs to start playing like the highest paid defense in the league. They need to do something to get TJ Watt off his spot, man. Put him somewhere else. Let him do something different. Let him set up in the middle and do a double A-gap blitz with Patrick Queen. Let's see something different. Let's see some innovation. Let's see this vaunted defense that Juan Thornhill is telling us is going to be historic. I hope he meant good and not bad like they have been. Let's see good. This offense from New England, yeah, there's some nice pieces. Yeah, there's some good players. Yeah, there's some Pro Bowl caliber talent. But, man, the Steelers' defense needs to show up this week, and they need to show up big, Gingy.
This really should be an opportunity for them to shine, Donkey. Right? The Steelers' offense, regardless Aaron Rodgers, no Aaron Rodgers, has not been the staple in the hallmark. Right?
No.
This vaunted highest paid defense should really be able to dominate the game versus the New England Patriot offense.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to really take control. Whether the offense plays good or not next game. Now, I still think they're going to have to, right? Because I still think we're going to have to get our crap together on defense. But, Donkey, it's not time to panic. It's not October yet, but this 2 can be a pattern and 3 ends up being a trend.
Yep.
And I don't want to see 3.
I can agree with that. We look at special teams. New England's guys, Bryce Baringer averaged about 50 yards a punt last year, so their punter's pretty solid. Andy Borealis already missed a field goal this year, so no Boswell there, so advantage should be Steelers just because, well, hopefully we don't do anything stupid on the return game, and let's be honest here, having a good kicker on both sides, whether it's punting or kicking, should give us an advantage or at least make us neutral every game in special teams. Fair enough, Gingy?
Boswell, good.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Gingy, anything you want to say before we get to some cash or trash out here?
I want the cash or trash, Donkey, and I want it now.
All right, let's start on offense. Cash or trash, Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdowns, 1 or fewer interceptions. Cash or trash it?
3-1, trash, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Let's move on to number 2. Jaylen Warren and this running game gets it going. The Pittsburgh Steelers average over 4.5 yards a carry. Cash or trash?
Yeah, cash that one for me. Let's go. Back to the other one. I'll give you 2-1 for Rodgers, but probably not 3-1. I'm not thinking.
I respect that. Gingy, offensive line, huge trouble. New England, sacking the quarterback a lot. However, this week, not perfect, but the Steelers allow only 1 sack. So 1 or fewer sacks from the Steelers' offensive line, cash or trash.
That's a tough line, Donkey. 1 or fewer? We went from 4. We went from 4 to 3 to 2. So
2?
I'm gonna have to trash 1.
Trash it. All right.
Yeah,
that's fair. We're gonna give the fans the whole 5 this week. The Steelers finally have someone break the century mark in receiving yards. Cash or trash? I'll give you the whole team to choose from.
Oh my gosh, the century. So with Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, somebody is going to break the century mark. Cash it in.
Who'd you like as your favorite in-house to be the one to do it?
Give me Metcalf. Give me a short little dump pass over the middle that he turns into 60 or 70.
That's a good way to look at it. I can respect that. And the last one, Gingy, cash or trash, Steelers offense score 30 points or more.
Ooh, 30 or more?
That seems where we need to be scoring.
Steelers offense, right?
Uh-huh.
Trash.
Ooh, trash. Now that's going to make this next one interesting. Let's flip to the defense before you get a chance to reason. The defense holds the Patriots under 30 points, cash or trash.
Cash.
Ooh, so we have a finally under 30 score game involving the Steelers. I like to see it.
Do.
Gingy, TJ Watt gets a sack, cash or trash.
Cash that in. Time to see the money. Bring home the bacon. Let's go.
Point number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers hold a good running game in Ramondre Stevenson under 100 yards rushing, cash or trash.
They got to do it sometime, donkey. Cash it in.
All right. Number 3, Gingy, the Steelers secondary, and arguably you could say the front because without Isaiah Loudermilk, Harmon is questionable for the game, but they're going to be without Joey Porter Jr., and of course, Deshaun Elliott's missing the game once again. Knowing this, the Steelers secondary and pass rush will still step up and force at least 2 turnovers from Drake May specifically, whether they be fumbles or interceptions, but they come from Drake May. Cash or trash?
Cash that in, donkey. You asked me a question about Steelers scoring 30. Steelers offense scoring 30, right?
Yes.
I think the Steelers are going to. I think the Steelers are going to score over 30, but I don't think all them points are going to come from the offense. So cash me in a splash play and double me down, donkey, for a defensive touchdown.
Defensive touchdown. I respect that. I do. Gingy, the Pittsburgh Steelers will finally have someone other than a safety lead them in tackles this week. Cash or trash?
If we stop the run game like I have predicted, we will not see a safety leading in tackles. Cash that in.
Fair enough. And I believe there's still one to go here. So we're gonna we're gonna put this on Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen playing with a rib injury hasn't really been effective. He gets 12 or more combined tackles in the game, Gingy. Cash or trash?
Yes, that's your guy. Leading tackler. There we go.
All right. I like to see it. Now, Gingy, give me your thoughts on what we're going to see this week between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. I intentionally didn't leave it offense or defense because I just want you to break down the whole game, how it's going to go, and why Boswell good matters.
I want to see a good, consistent offensive game. They're not going to knock your socks off, I don't think. But scoring 3 touchdowns is quite possible. I'm hoping for at least probably 2 in the air, as I called, 1 on the ground. I'd like to see time of possession go in our favor. I'd like to see extended drives by our offense on the field. That's the recipe there. But as I alluded to earlier, it really should be the defense that's able to shine in this game versus a caliber of offense like the New England Patriots. I think that I wanted to see some splash plays, a defensive touchdown, and really the ability to stop drives and get off the field on 3rd down. I think that's going to be key for them to be able to lend itself to the support to the offense and be able to establish an identity. Right? If it's going to be I know that these are injuries in their secondary, right? I was hoping that was going to be one of the Steelers' identities this year, but we're not stopping the run, and we're not particularly scary when it comes to stopping the pass, right? Forcing turnovers thus far has been forced by pressure up front. Guys getting their big paws up in the air and deflecting balls and getting in the quarterback's face and forcing, that's the Steelers' way. We need to get back to that identity. Right? Because then we are able to give our secondary a little bit of boost when those guys are injured by being able to finally get after the quarterback in the way that we would expect.
I hear
For
you.
goodness sakes, let's not see no more silly points given away. If we're gonna lose the game, we can lose it outright because we're the worst team. But don't make it a gimmick. Don't make it an embarrassing type of thing that gets shown on Sports Center all week long.
Or in training films for the rest of eternity.
Training film. Every
like
team in the
one.
league, Donkey. Every team in the league for the rest of history now. They're going to be watching that play from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their special teams coach is going to be saying, "This is what you cannot do." And they're going to be watching black and yellow jerseys play that out. Watch them all stand around, watch the ball, and watch Seattle score 7 points for no reason in the middle of a crucial drive.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 3-point game at that point, right?
3-point game at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Donkey, and momentum was looking Steelers' way.
The Renegade definitely got the Hangman news definitely got tightened this week or last week.
Mm-hmm. So
I see this a little differently than you, Gingy. I feel like this is a New England team that plays the way New England teams used to play. I understand it's not Tom Brady. I do, fully. But, man, we lost to New England when they had a nobody. I feel like this New England team plays that style of football, and I really think it comes down to I don't think you're going to see much done from us offensively. We've always struggled against the way they defend us. I think you're going to see Aaron Rodgers put up what you would deem enough points, let's say 20-ish, right? I really feel this game comes down to can they force Drake May into mistakes? I think Ramondre Stevenson's going to get his. I don't know if it's 100 yards, but I'm thinking he's going to be 3.8 to 4.8, somewhere in that yards per carry with at least one touch. I really feel if they can't force turnovers from Drake May, they don't win this game. And I'm going to be honest, I don't see them forcing enough turnovers this week. I think things got to get a little worse before the Steelers look inbound and change. I think we come out with the same boring schematics this week. I think we come out with the same boring game plan this week. And I think the loss this week will lead to a change in schematics for the Steelers. Now, let's get to some picks this week. Let's start with the most interesting one. I believe it's the Monday night game. Detroit going to Baltimore, Gingy. That's too. Gee, could we see 64-62 as the final score?
We might. That might be a track meet. Man, it's hard to give me at this point in the season. Give me the Lions, Donkey, on this one.
Give me Baltimore because they're at home. Laskers also likes Baltimore. We got a Green Bay team that has gone all in going against the Cleveland Browns, and oh my God, I feel bad for Joe Flacco. I can't believe I'm saying that, but that poor dude's getting murdered down there in Cleveland. Gingy, me and Laskers are on Green Bay. You want to join the bandwagon?
Absolutely. I don't know how you would justify anything different than that at this point from what you've seen thus far.
I forgot to say that J.J. McCarthy's also an injured quarterback. So this next game, we have the backup quarterback bowl. We have the Vikings playing the Bengals with backup quarterbacks leading the way. Gingy, who do you like in, by the way, it's 2-0 Cincinnati going to 1-1 Minnesota. Who do you like in this battle of the backups, man? Are you on Team Browning or are you on Team Carson Wentz?
Give me the Vikings.
Ooh, on Team Carson Wentz. Vikings are the home team, right? Yeah, I like the Vikings. Laskers likes the Bengals. Let's go. A backup quarterback bowl in week 3, Gingy. That's kind of early for that, isn't it?
Yeah, very unfortunate, but here we are.
All right, Laskers likes the Steelers 24, Patriots 18 with Jalen Ramsey. Wrong one. He put Jalen, so I just went with that. He means Jalen Warren, clearly, remembering how to run 80 yards and a touchdown. Gingy, where we at?
Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers 31-21. X Factor. Yeah. Defensive touchdown on the board. And X Factor, give me TJ Watt. This has to be a show out pressure week on Drake May. I want to see something impactful.
Give me New England 23, Pittsburgh 20. I don't know why, but this game feels like the Patriots are going to win it the Patriot way, and the X factor is going to be because we didn't talk about this play, Gingy. Mike Tomlin, 4th and 1 at midfield, essentially punts the ball last week when his defense sucks. I think the X factor is going to be Mike Tomlin living in his fears and playing to not win football games again. I think there's going to be a point in this game, a 4th and 3 or something, where he punts the ball instead of going for it, and New England drives down and takes the lead. I just feel that's what's going to happen. So I'm really going to say I really feel Mike Tomlin's going to be the X factor in this game.
Wow, hot take. I'll go with it.
Any closing thoughts for you here, Gingy, before we get to shout-outs?
Nope. I think we covered it, Donkey.
Nice All right. Steeler lost, not going to ask. Donkey has a shout-out. It's going to be a contributor to the Steelers website. I think most recently is where he's been, but he's contributed in a lot of forms to the NFL. Passed away, long fight with cancer. That's Dale Lawley. He's 56. Great contributor. Helped out with all the Steelers media stuff, being an editor, writer, all that stuff, losing people who cover the team. There's been a bunch of them over the last few years. Always sad to see. And he's a good dude who seemed to do it right and never seemed to really be just clickbaiting everybody. Gotta love it. Gotta respect it. Rip. That's all I gotta say.
Okie dokie. I'll take a shout out, Donkey, this week. You gotta respect a fresh Steelers linebacker getting his first sack. Shout out to Sawyer. Love to see aggressive play. If I do recall, I'm trying to remember the play. I think he read that play correctly and shot the gap right when he knew that the backer was in the backfield. I think that was his guy. So he actually made a good read on that play to be able to get his first sack, if I remember correctly, Donkey. Am I making that up?
Dude, I don't remember what it was because the play right after it freaking broke me.
But shout out to a Steelers linebacker getting his first sack. Sawyer, hopefully that's many more to come. Let's go.
Agreed. Now I gotta let you know I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey, Twitch or Twitter. Your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger is the fun YouTube channel where you get this awesome content. I didn't ask Gingy for a shout out because he never does it during a loss, but he's throwing all sorts of caution to the wind this week, Steelers fans. So get excited, get hyped, and Gingy will let you know.
Mutant Gingy in the house. We hanging out. We talking football. I had to give a shout out for that, Donkey. I withhold the shout outs all off season. I can't be withholding them during the regular season too. I know it's a loss, folks. 1-1 is a biter, but it's an NFC loss. Hopefully it doesn't affect us down the road. Upwards and onwards to Foxborough, folks. Here we go, Steelers. Wave them if you got them. We're looking at 2-1, baby.